everyone, Viola Rules here, and welcome to another League of Legends game. Today I'm going to be playing as Caitlyn ADC, and if you're wondering why the screen looks like this, it's because I'm using a replay of the game that I wanted to record because the original footage did not record properly. But yeah, so we start out the game. Nautilus is a little bit late to the punch, but I noticed that Kindred has decided to invade, and she is completely alone. I do rush over to try and help, and as you can see, she almost gets snared by Soraka here. So yeah, I dodged to the left here to avoid Lux's ability. I figured she'd start with her snare and not her other ability, Flash Kane's knock-up there, and I'm able to get out almost unscathed. Here, Kindred does apologize for me having to back and heal, but it's fine. I'm able to get there and help leash for her. But yeah, if you're going to invade, wait until you have at least 2, maybe 3 people with you before you just walk in there thinking that the jungler will be by himself, because most likely he won't be. And now at this point, our Nautilus finally comes to life and starts walking towards lane. But yeah, if you don't know, it's now the preseason of Season 8, which means that the new rune system is now in place. I'll put up on the screen what runes I'm using from my rune page. You can experiment with them. There are ones that do a whole variety of different effects. This is just what I'm using because I like the way it feels on Caitlyn, but you'll have to adjust it per champion though. Something that I did when I did my leashes, I came back to lane with my headshot, so I can do stuff like that where I can get a little bit of extra poke off on the champions in lane. And here I'm just trying to CS as well as poke them from a distance. I do want to mention that I am in a pre-made of 4 people. Everyone except for the Nautilus I'm laning with is someone I'm in a party with. So yeah, Soraka puts down her silencing field. Luckily I was able to get my Q off before she silenced me there. And you might have noticed when I'm standing next to Nautilus, this little ring appears. That's one of the abilities he has in his rune and mastery kit, though I guess they're just called runes now. If I stand that close to him where the ring is active and he uses an ability, it will give both of us a temporary shield. Think of it like a Target or Face of the Mountain, but one that only gets used if the person is standing directly next to you. Okay, so yeah, I bait out Soraka's star call there. Nautilus will get another hook here. I use my Q. I'm not in range though to auto attack. Something that I was told is that I tend to stand too far to the left of the screen most of the time, and that's an instance where it hurt me there, because if I had been on the side of the screen that Nautilus was on, I would have been able to get more damage off on Soraka and even possibly kill her. Could have used to trap Soraka down. Because Nautilus did get his stun off on her. But this Soraka keeps walking very far forward, but it doesn't even matter because I ended up missing my Q somehow. And this Nautilus also said that he's a first-time Nautilus as well, but he does get some pretty good good hooks here, like there. I get first blood off of that one. And surprisingly, Sivir there does not turn around to get the kill on Nautilus. She definitely could have. Oh, she is low on mana now that I see. So she probably didn't have the mana to be able to do what she wanted. Yeah, and she will flash that Nautilus hook as well. I did ping for Nautilus to hit her with the hook after I saw her use her spell shield, because she had exhausted it to block my incoming Q damage. Which, by the way, if you're playing Sivir, don't do that. I've noticed a lot of Sivirs do that, where they try to spell shield my abilities that don't really matter, like my Q and my E. If you really need to spell shield something from an opposing Caitlyn, spell shield her ultimate, but for other things, just take the hit unless you're going to die from it. She would not have died from that hit. So yeah, I feel like that was a waste of her spell shield there. Plus it leaves you very vulnerable because I believe it has a 14-second cooldown. But yeah, we just continue to lane here. I decided to try and put the bush to some use. Because if you don't know, I think I've mentioned it before, but if you don't know, Caitlyn's passive gets 2 stacks on it while she's standing in a bush. So instead of her having to auto-attack 7 times to get her headshot, she'll only have to auto-attack 4 times. That is, if you're starting over in the passive. But yeah, elsewhere on the map, my team seems to be just doing their own thing. Okay, so my flash is back up. Something that I forgot to mention that I do have is the Hedgetech flash traption, I believe is what it's called. Where after using my flash for a short amount of time, I get a flash that's a channel. Where, as stated, it channels and then it teleports you to a very short distance away from you. I don't actually use it in this battle, but if you guys have used it, can you tell me if it's effective to take or not? Because it feels like it would be, but I'm not entirely sure. And as you saw, I just got the shield perk from Nautilus using an ability there. Okay, so I see that Kindred is fighting off Kane, but Kane seems to be fine. I do ping caution though, because I do see that Kane starts to come down towards us. So yeah, Kane comes in from the side here. Yeah, he comes in through the wall. He jumped onto Nautilus of all people. I use my heal to get Nautilus out of the way, and I net him to slow him as well to keep him from pursuing. Most of the time when Kane's engaged, they engage on the ADC, because it's usually someone that they can burst down pretty easily. But I guess he was trying to go for the lower target, which was Nautilus, which is not a great idea, because Nautilus is very naturally tanky. Here his recall will be interrupted though, but he doesn't die from it, so that's good. And while I'm here, I do buy a couple of items. I believe I buy my Vampiric Scepter at this point. Yeah, I just go back to lane. Nautilus is fending them off pretty well, despite being low health, but so are they, so they can't really do much to him. And Kindred will get a kill off on Lux, who just killed our Rise. By the way, I think the people that I'm playing with, a couple of them might be new to the game, mainly because of the way that Rise builds, which I'll show you guys a little bit later in this video, what he's building, which is definitely not the right thing to be building on Rise. Yeah, I go to poke, but then I notice that Nautilus is not with me, and I don't want to get caught out by them, because they can very easily trap me if Soraka lands a very well-placed silence. Yeah, and Soraka tries to flash there, but the ultimate from Nautilus will kill her. So it was a waste of her flash. It's always funny to me when people flash abilities that stick on you, where you can't flash away from them, like Caitlyn's ultimate, or Nautilus's ultimate. Okay, so here Nautilus goes back, so I just go ahead and continue to farm. Yeah, our Nasus is doing really well up there against Darius, which is surprising because normally Darius bursts down people like Nasus, but he's not. Also here, I wanted to go for the dragon because it's going to take a while for Sivir and Soraka to get back into lane. And that would have been an opportune time for us to go and grab the Ocean Drake. As long as it's not warded. I don't know if it was, but we have the Scuttle Crab there, so they definitely don't have that. But that was a prime example of a reason to go and do Dragon, because they don't have vision. Sivir and Soraka will stay in lane to farm up. But missed opportunity. And so I load her back a little bit, waiting for Nautilus to get here. Yeah, see, they had to go and ward the river bush. So yeah, that would have been a good time to go and do that. For some reason, Sivir does not use her spell shield to spell shield my trap like most Sivirs I see do. So I don't know if she just didn't see it or if she just didn't think she had to. But we do force them back here, which is a good thing. Yeah, I throw a Q out, but I have no intention of fighting them under the tower, mainly because of that, because Soraka has her ultimate. Which I realized was not used for us, but used for top lane, it looks like. But yeah, unless you're 100% sure that you can get the kill under a tower, go for it. But if you have even the slightest bit of doubt, don't go for it. It's not worth it to lose your life to a tower dive. And then Nautilus will miss his hook. If he had gotten that, I probably would have been able to do some pretty good damage to Sivir. Definitely wouldn't have been able to kill her, though. Okay, yeah, Nautilus gets a really good hook off here. He'll get the knock up and I get the kill off on Soraka. Great job. Yeah, so now Sivir is by herself, but Sivir is really good at clearing waves, so we won't be able to do any damage to the tower. Though I do see that Kindred wants to tower dive Sivir. Yep, she even marks Sivir. Yeah, and this is where Sivir makes a fatal error. She gets exhausted, I get a few shots off on her, I get my ult off, and Kindred is able to go and use Wolf and get the kill. Nice. Though I do see that Lux is coming in from behind. Oh yeah, and they also added this feature to the turrets that they can withstand no damage for 5 seconds. I see that Kindred used her ultimate to get away from Lux here. And I run over because I figured that Kindred was dead, but no, she manages to actually get out because Lux went the wrong way. And I decided to go back and use this opportunity to go by. Yep, and here I get my Infinity Edge and boots. And as you can see, Ryze has no items. And we are 12, almost 13 minutes into the game. I have no idea why he has no items. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know if he started without items. But for some reason, the only thing he has are pots. And when I asked him, why don't you have any items, all he did was laugh. So I don't think he gets it. In the game prior to this one, we played against a Ryze that completely destroyed the person who's currently playing Ryze. But I don't think they realized that's because Ryze had items. Also here, Kayn goes in on Kindred here. And unfortunately, the blast cone is gone, so I'm not able to do anything about that. But we do get the dragon, so I consider it to be worth it. Plus, Kayn doesn't get anything else out of it. So Nautilus and I will head bot where there are 3 people, Lux, Sivir, and Soraka. So here I use my heal to keep us alive. I see that Nautilus has ulted someone, so I go to ult as well, but it gets blocked. But I will get the kill anyway. And here I flash backwards away from Kayn's knockup. And this actually traps him for a good bit. Yeah, I pinged to keep going on him because I figured that we could get a kill off, but for some reason Nautilus hooks onto Sivir. But it doesn't matter because Kayn walks right into one of my traps, which was very satisfying. And Nautilus is still going for it. I actually forgot that we took the tower, which is why I'm standing back so far. But Nautilus gets the kill and Soraka manages to get out, and Sivir is so bloodthirsty that she just walks past both me and Ryze. I was a much better target to actually kill there than going for Nautilus. There was no way that she was going to be able to get him, even with her ult popped. So yeah, that was weird play on her part. Yeah, here I get my Brawler's Glove, and I see that Ryze has picked up a support item for some reason. I haven't played Ryze since preseason started, so I don't know if they changed his recommended items for some reason, but I doubt it, and I just think this person's just buying whatever. Because they're buying tank stuff trying to stay alive on a burst mage. I mean, not that you can't do that, but It doesn't make any sense. But here I figure that we can deal some damage to Lux, but then I see that Kayn has Rise. So I put my trap down to try and limit where Kayn can walk. I was also trying to snare him as well, but I know that Kayn can control where he comes out of his ultimate, and I figured he would appear behind Rise, trying to get back into his jungle. So I was right to predict that. For some reason, Rise keeps using his ult like this throughout the entire game. I don't think he realizes that he can teleport a lot farther than that. And here, I actually get hit by the tower a couple of times because I go in to try and kill Lux, and I just misclick a lot. So that happens a couple of times in this game, but I do put a trap down. Lux walks by, and I go ahead and ult, and I get the kill somehow because I figured Kindred's auto attack would get that, but nope. And here, Sivir makes another mistake of walking outside of Kindred's ultimate so that she does not get the heal from it. Yeah, we're playing against a Kindred and she pops her ultimate and you're an enemy player. Stand inside of her ult unless you're sure that no matter what, the heal won't save you. Because what Kindred's ult does is that it keeps everyone inside of it, friend and foe, alive. And it gives everyone a heal as well. Yeah, so Kayn makes a really bad engage there. Again, I don't know why he didn't go for me. I am the squishier target. So yeah, I back off at this point because I don't want to try Lux. Because Lux, if she gets a snare off on me and uses her passive appropriately, and even her ultimate, she'll just kill me. Okay, so I go back, I buy again. I think I get a couple of daggers this time. Yeah, somebody, yeah, the bot tower was pinged by the enemy team, it looks like. Yeah, I was going to go down there, but it seemed like it wasn't a good idea at the time while I'm walking towards mid here. Because I figured I wouldn't be able to get to bot lane fast enough, but then I see how slowly they're actually taking everything. Like, I expected them to have taken the tower by the time I even walked midway through mid lane, but they do end up getting it. So I redirect myself to walk down this way. Yeah, I try to get some shots off on Soraka. The Caitlyn tip, as I realized as I did that, is a very bad idea to engage with my net because, one, it causes me to be a lot farther away from the target than I need to be, and two, it's a complete waste, especially if they just end up flashing away. The slow that I was trying to put on her is completely ineffective at that point. So yeah, I would not engage with Caitlyn's ult, which I now know myself not to do. Okay, so I continue to farm up here. This is where my farm starts to fall off because my team is just team fighting so much that I'm barely in lane from this point forward. But I do run up here to help Nasus because I see that Nasus has like 4 people on him. What I do is I pop my heal here just to give that to Nasus, and if she hadn't spell shielded my ability, I probably would have gotten that. Yeah, and here Nasus will die because for some reason I decided to target Lux instead of Kayn. I should have targeted Kayn instead. Yeah, and here I misclick again, I hit the tower, but I do end up picking up the kill and I go legendary. Yeah, and I still have not died by this point. Which, I don't know if that's a reflection of how the enemy team is playing, or if I'm just playing smarter this game. I like to think that my positioning and mechanics are a little bit better than usual for this game. So here I decided to back off, put down a trap just in case Darius decided to try and get us. And personally, at this point, I would have just backed off. I would have gone for the Infernal Drake that's up at this point. But my team is very intent on fighting right now, to the point that we kind of overstay our welcome a little bit. Yeah, as you can see, Nautilus indicated for me to take red. I don't even get it. Kayn ends up smiting it away from me. We get pulled by Darius, and honestly, I thought I was dead, which is why I flashed there, because I'm used to just dying instantly to Darius. But I actually end up not dying to that. I go back in for an auto attack, which causes Lux to throw her snare at me, which actually helps Ryze get out, because they're chasing without any means of being able to really slow him. Oh no, he still does die. Never mind. I forgot. It is Lux. So, yeah, I don't know if he tried to turn around and fight there, but I will get this tower though. So that's great. But yeah, as you can see, my team just wants to go in for more and more kills. I actually end up hitting Kayn with my Q here, which is great. And here, I could have just gone for Kayn and gotten a kill, but for some reason I decided I wanted to go up here and get in on killing this Darius, and then I don't even get anything from it. That's stupid on my part. Yeah, my team just wants to keep going. We push for the top tower and inhibitor at this point, and Nautilus will drop the Rift Herald. Which I'm glad he did, because I think it was about to expire at this point. And oh yeah, Ness's flash for Kayn, but waste of a flash, because we won't be able to do anything with it. But yeah, I put down traps, I put down a whole bunch of stuff, but I decided to prioritize getting the tower, and I turn around and get the kill for Kayn, even though I wasn't in that fight at all. And here, I kind of thought that we were going to lose some people, especially when we got pulled like that. But I managed to use my net to get out of the way of Lux's ultimate. I also managed to avoid her snare there. And Ryze does this again. Okay, but we did manage to get some pretty good stuff off of that trade, and here I'm going to go back and finally get my Phantom Dancer, which, by the way, this is a new recommended build for me. Normally I get BF Sword, then I get Zeal, then I build that into Rapid Fire Cannon, then I get my Infinity Edge, then Bloodthirster, but I was recommended to rush IE, Infinity Edge, and then go into a Phantom Dancer, and then whatever else I want after that. I decided to build towards a Bloodthirster at this point. And partially is because Darius is not building any sort of tank. As you can see, he has a Phage, a Kindle Gem, and that's about it. So I don't have to worry about getting a Last Whisper item for him. I also decided to come over here and take this dragon. Not really because we have the opportunity to take it, but I was just tired of it being up. And I kind of like to think that because of that, this team fight that's going on near Baron, my team manages to win it because I went and took the Infernal Drake. Because it does, the first stack of it gives you an extra 8% of damage. Second stack 16, third stack 24% extra damage for AD and AP respectively. Okay, I'm just looking to see what everyone's built at this point. And also, I have not died at all. And I end up having a very good score at the end of this. I get another kill off on Sivir. And I end the game being 12, 0, and 8. And Darius comes in trying to kill us again. But yeah, that was a really awesome game. And the reason why I decided to do this format is because I wanted to get better by looking at my past games and critiquing them. So let me know what you guys think about this format instead of what I normally do. And if you want to see the stats for this game, I can show that to you real quick. Here's the stat screen, and I can show it to you in graph form as well. Yeah. I dealt some pretty decent damage. Nessus, of course, did the most in the game, but I even did more than Lux, which was very impressive. But yeah, here's an overview as well, in case you want to see that. And yeah, I had a really good time reviewing my own game. I learned some things myself, and I hope that you guys did too. So if you did, give this video a like. Also be sure to like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter, as well as support my Patreon. All 3 links will be in the description below. And subscribe for more. And if you are subscribed or a new subscriber right now, be sure to hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload videos. This is Viola Rules, signing off. Talk to you later.